Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one. This one's gonna be good. Oh, he's really gonna cook.
Nervous, scared.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited. Many people, I suspect, were undecided and holding out until they got to hear from the homegrown Ohio boy, now living in Puerto Rico to avoid paying taxes, Jake Paul. And a lot of people I see in the chat are going, "Oh, dude, is he Amish now?" No. He is presenting himself as Dagestani. This is not Jake Paul trying to look Amish. This is Jake Paul trying to look like he is from Dagestan. Okay? Now let's take a look at what he had to say. I mean, I myself have been undecided up until this moment. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what Jake Paul's decision is. Yeah, Jake Paulomedov.
To make this video because of what it means in terms of my career, my life, people coming after me, more accusations, more turmoil, more division potentially. However, I just want to provide information to the potentially undecided voter, the things that I have seen over the past couple of years that have led me in a certain direction as to who I am supporting in this presidential election. And most of all, encouraging y'all to actually vote, encouraging y'all to actually do your own research and to base that research in the truth, not just reckless
What's up with the camera angles, dude?
Propaganda or your favorite pop star telling you to vote.
Dog, your people's like maybe your teenager's 8th favorite charlatan on YouTube. The f do you mean? Don't vote because Bad Bunny told you to vote for someone. Do your own research and listen to me, your least favorite pop star.
A certain way, and you believing them because you love their song. And with that said, after watching this video, you shouldn't necessarily just listen to me either. Do your own research before you go and vote, but I highly, highly, highly encourage you to exercise your right to vote. Because I moved to Puerto Rico in pursuit of becoming a world champion in my boxing career, I
became a world champion at dodging taxes. That's why he moved to Puerto Rico.
Have rescinded my right to vote, but that doesn't mean I can't present my 80 million large audience with proper facts, numbers, and data to encourage them to vote in the proper direction.
Oh my God, this only got 100K views in 8 hours. Oh, is he juiceless? Is he sauceless? Is Jake Paul no longer a person with, oh my God, this video got 266,000 views, the Mike Tyson promo. 2 weeks ago. Brother, go back to, burning shit. What are you doing? Like, clearly, this stuff is not working. Yeah, go back to flexing. God damn. Bro fell off harder than you did. I know. My fall off is devastating. I only have 36,000 people. Watching. It's f***ed up.
To quite literally save America. And I'll start off with something that bothered me recently was Tony Hinchcliffe, a comedian who made a bad joke. Obviously, he's doing his job, trying to be funny, but him talking smack about Puerto Rico was not funny. And I want to shine a light on the fact that these aren't Donald Trump's views. It was a comedian who made a bad joke.
I have no idea who he is. Never saw him, never heard of him.
Oh, dude, this facts-based analysis has started off strong. That's awesome. All right. Mr. Facts-Based Analysis, dude. He's coming in. He's done his own research.
And don't want to hear of him.
Tony, while I love most of your work, Puerto Rico is the most beautiful place on earth, and the people here are absolutely incredible. Wars, health, guns, jobs, economy, inflation, border control, freedom of speech. The list goes on and on and on with the number of problems that America currently faces. And I don't come to you to make this video to create more division. I believe love is the key to the universe and that we should all love each other more and more and more. And it saddens me that in the current political state of the world, in America, People can't have opinions without outrageous backlash. And I truly believe we can all agree on that things just don't feel right. America doesn't feel good. It shows that
Dude, these multi-camera jump cuts are gonna make me throw up, dude. It's not helped by the fact that I have to look at his face, which is, I don't know what happened to this. Did he do like a shit ton of steroids? Like, what's going on? Why does he look like this?
we are more divided than ever, and I can't sit back and watch this blasphemy unfold in front of me any longer. What is the problem? Democrats have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. So if we aren't happy with the current political state, economic state, environmental state, then who is to blame? Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate, has even said this himself.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't have 4 more years of this. Even
Wow. He's great facts-based analysis. I wonder what Tim Walz was talking about. Oh, dude, this is like, I'm going to go back to this. After Jake Paul's endorsement for Donald Trump. He's literally too stupid to make a good convincing argument for Trump.
Even Tim says there needs to be change, and he's right. We need to change from Kamala Harris to the Republican candidate Donald Trump. Tim, I remind you that your running mate, Kamala Harris, is vice president, currently in the office, and hasn't done anything while she's in office. Basically no accomplishments. Let's start with a chart of inflation during the Biden-Harris term. Their overall inflation is 20.2% compared to the Trump-Pence administration with an overall inflation of 6.7%. Statistically 14% better while Trump was running the economy. As you can see in every category, energy, gasoline, rent, and food, the numbers are exponentially lower and the lowest of the past 30 years of presidents. Again, regardless of your emotion, I'm just presenting you with facts. Do I think Donald Trump is a perfect human being? No, I don't think anybody on this planet is a perfect human being.
Why are you dignifying this trash with a react? Because he's making true facts. Okay? He's right. And his 12-year-old fans that actually demand that he blow up more monster trucks or whatever are going to learn so much about how Biden did the brand inflation. Also, the conversation about vice presidents is really funny because Trump literally almost killed his vice president. Okay? So in terms of like vice presidential impact, I feel like, you know, they're not exactly impactful. The one thing that the vice president does have the right to do is certify the votes or choose not to certify the votes. And fake friend Mike Pence couldn't even do that for my goat, Donald Trump. Kind of f***ed up, if you ask me. That's all I'm saying.
Myself included. Don't judge people off of a character that the media has portrayed them to be. Because Democrats control 90% of the US media, so they
What the fuck? Democrats control 90% of the US media. 90%. He's right, dude. That's right. Democrat run news media. That's why I had to do it. I had to do it to him. I like that his facts-based analysis is that there's a lot of mentions of racism, racist, sexism, sexist, and misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, and anti-Semitism. Like, this implies that Democrats run the media. They own 90% of the media because mentions of these sorts of things have gone up. I love this. More like the media controls 90% of politicians because they're owned by giant corporations that bribes politicians. What is this argument, dude? You don't understand. Anti-racism is woke nonsense. That's the funniest part about this is that, like, these guys, again, right-wingers in general, especially prominent right-wingers online, including now Jake Paul, we'll often talk about how like woke is a bad thing, like being woke is a bad thing. But once again, when polled, Americans are like, yeah, it just means you're in favor of social justice. And yeah, I agree with it. By overwhelming majorities, as a matter of fact. There's never been a single poll that has showed that like being woke is a bad thing. Okay? So when he puts this up as like homophobia mentions have gone up, like what are you against the coverage of are you homophobic? Why are you voluntarily ascribing these values, okay, to the Democratic Party? Why are you voluntarily ascribing these values, okay, to the Democratic Party and then just sitting there and making it seem like that's a bad thing? Are you that stupid? Did you get CTE? What's going on? I think Logan Paul has to do the right thing and come out and endorse Kamala Harris.
They will paint a picture to y'all, and that picture is what they want you to see. And to be frank, I'm not concerned with Donald Trump's character flaws or what he's done in the past. What I'm concerned with is how good of a president is he? Because that is his job, and that is what's going to affect the people of this nation. Oh, Bill Belichick, so hard to work with. He's a dick to all of his players, but yet he's the most winningest coach in all of the NFL. We're not here to call names and get involved in emotional battles. Let's look at who was a better president during their terms. Statistically, the next major point that always comes up is abortion. Donald Trump abortion. Donald Trump isn't protecting women's rights. That's what the media has painted to you, and it's absolutely not true.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one. This one's going to be good. Oh, he's really going to cook. The 90% of the media is owned by the Democrats with a irrelevant statistic that I'm not entirely certain as to why Jake Paul would even show as a bad thing. Wasn't enough for me. That I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out because this is my favorite political thinker. Perhaps my favorite thinker in general, and I'm assuming that he's going to come out with a banger on this one and explain to us everything that we've known about this process is wrong. It's not Donald Trump's own Supreme Court appointees that ended up overturning Roe v. Wade, which undermined women's bodily autonomy in every red state, as a matter of fact. So let's see what he says here.
True. Donald Trump was the president before for 4 years. What rights as a woman were taken away from you? The
Yes, dude, why did Trump not hire him? Trump's argument for the abortion thing is really bad because there is no real good argument you can make, right? There is no real good argument you can make about like Roe v. Wade being overturned, okay? So Trump does this thing where he's like, everybody wanted to overturn it so that we could bring it back to the states. We could bring it back to the states. That's what all the legal scholars wanted, except make no mistake, even my Supreme Court appointees openly stated that they would not overturn Roe v. Wade. They lied to the American public because of how popular it was to protect it. Even though they all wanted it, everyone secretly wanted it. That's why everyone's so happy and certainly voting against me. But that aside, super precedent, words like super precedent, lame, who gives a shit, okay? All of that aside, what matters is what Jake Paul has to say. And Jake Paul is right. Women's right to choose was not undermined when Trump was president. It's just that Trump appointed Supreme Court justices that did end up doing that. But I guess this is one of those instances where like I don't know if Jake Paul is too stupid, so he's like earnestly stating this like a Aiden Ross style situation. Y'all remember when Aiden Ross was having a convo with Your Rage and Kai about abortion? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, here it is.
Give me 3 reasons why Trump is better than Biden. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to know if you're actually talking and you're not just a bot repeating
first
shit.
Of all, what happened with abortion is ridiculous. You should not be able to tell a woman what to do with her body. That's first of all. That's a woman's body.
You think.
Yeah, why are we doing this right now? On screen.
You're so brain dead. You're so brain dead.
All right, Josh, do you have a sister?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Wait, the TikTok is the Hasanabi pipeline, by the way. I just realized.
Bro.
Okay.
Wait, you think Biden was the one that wanted abortion to be... That's what you think? That's how that works?
He's a president. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can not ban it. What do you mean?
All right, bro. Tell me.
All right, bro. Young Thug got 15 years probation. Free him. Free him from the treacherous nature of probation too. Free Thug. But it's a good result overall. Anyway, truly humble under God, baby. So yeah, it could be going back to Jake Paul. This could be a moment where Jake Paul is simply saying this because he's too stupid to recognize what he's saying. Or maybe he's disingenuously framing this as an argument.
The answer is none. Donald Trump wants to put the power into the hands of each state to determine whether abortions will be legal there or not. So if you live in a Democratic...
This is so funny because, once again, wrong. Kentucky actually voted in favor of protecting a woman's right to choose. And then the Kentucky Attorney General turned around and was like, I don't care about democracy. Shut the fuck up. So wrong. If also the overwhelming majority opinion democracy was important for each individual state, the reality of the matter is that there has never been a moment where abortion wasn't popular. Abortion protections weren't popular. Don't watch the whole 18 minutes. If you voluntarily watch 18 full minutes of Jake Paul talking about the election, you should be lobotomized. No, I'm going to watch it. And you can't stop me. Like, we have to watch it. This is the most important election of our lifetimes. And Jake Paul is the most important person to speak on this matter.
State like California, yes, the Democrats will vote to allow abortion in California, putting the power in the hands of the people. So while many women are focused on this single issue vote,
I have made 2 comments about the love test. Yes, you have. I heard from a video you were like 46 or something. Is that true? Please just stop spamming about the love test or whatever
voting,
the fuck.
I encourage you not to be a single issue voter.
He was already president, and how many rights did you lose? 0. He's trying to protect women's rights. What do you think it is when we have men in women's sports? We have men in our personal spaces. What do you think it is when dangerous men come over the border? That's what protecting women and children is. Oh, he already said he's not going to do a nationwide abortion ban. He's not going to do it.
Facts. And if you really cared about women and their opportunity...
Facts. Dude, I love, this is more important than the 13 keys. Yeah, Alan Lichtman would never be able to predict a Jake Paul endorsement and its impact.
...in their lives, I think it would be better to have a president that doesn't want biological men competing in women's sports. How many opportunities...
Yeah, this is why I'm voting. Dude. Yo, the economy, dude. This is what's important. We got to make sure that the American president has a say in the Olympics. Okay?
Over the last couple of years have been stripped from women who spend their whole entire lives in a sport hoping for opportunities for it to be taken away by a biological male. And not to mention biological men in women's restrooms. What world have we gotten to where that seems acceptable and that...
Dude, there's something really funny about him just like trying to do transphobic commentary as like the camera pans from one camera angle to the next, and he's like, dude, what is the world that we've gotten to? This is what the I think he's just a single issue voter and doesn't want biological women fighting against him because he's worried he will lose. What? No, he's just an idiot, and he's repeating talking points without really putting much effort or thought into it. Okay, that's it.
Is a political discussion in any way, shape, or form. And as a future father, you will find me dead before I send my daughter to a school where men can go into her bathroom and where men can compete against her in sports. It's bullshit. That is taking away a woman's rights. And I don't hate trans people. It's not an attack against them.
but I also consider you to be biological men, all of you, including trans men. Trans men, also biological men. Trans women, also biological men. Everyone is a man, actually, in my worldview. I have not really considered any of the things that I'm saying. So, you know, I like that gender affirming care has done wonders for this man. making his face as puffy as possible. And yet here he is being like, well, I will deny everyone else the opportunity. It's cool. Denies their existence, but also says, I don't hate you. Yeah, who is this argument supposed to convince? Why are you even saying, I don't hate you? This is the thing I don't understand. Like, you just went on a transphobic rant for no reason, like out of nowhere. You don't even have to bring this up at all, but you're using it as a way to be like, Trump actually cares about women, and that's why he's going to kill trans women or some shit. And then you're like, and also, I don't really hate trans women, but you guys are weird, and I think that you should not exist. Like, why even deny it at that point? I do not understand this. Like, who is convinced by this? Like, oh, well, he said he doesn't hate trans people.
I believe adults should dress and act however they want.
Oh, God, he's sweating so much. What the
shouldn't encroach your rights into other areas of delusion and infringe on other humans' basic rights.
He's like, trans people, you can exist if you want, but I will call you delusional, and also you are not allowed to piss or shit, okay? You are not allowed to play sports, and you are definitely not allowed to piss or shit or exist in public, really. Actually, I've decided I want doctors to reverse your hormone therapy, as a matter of fact, just now. But I don't hate you. No hate, but I think you're weird and scary and delusional, and also I will do everything in my power to stop you from existing. But no hate, though.
And Caitlyn Jenner herself is a perfect example of this, and someone who carries herself perfectly in a complex and tough situation and conversation across the world. And as a man, you should be offended.
What? You got Nick Twiz. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Don Jr.'s holding a camera. Don Jr.'s behind the camera holding a gun at Jay. He's not doing this on his own free will. Hassan, please understand this is under duress. No man sweats like that normally. I'm gonna agree with you. Straight up. I agree with you. There's got to be some reason why he's sweating profusely, okay? There's got to be a reason for it. There can be it can't be reasonless. And I suspect that he is under duress.
Offended by the fact that Kamala Harris goes on a podcast saying that there is no law that governs a man's body.
Can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision?
I know what you're going to ask.
About a man's body. Let's
No.
Is there any law?
No.
Hey, Kamala, what about the draft, which requires...
My goat! Let's go! Woo! Oh my God. Hey, Kamala, what about the draft? Woo! Make women draft. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Men to fight for their country, die, go to war, or face imprisonment and $250,000.
I love this argument. What an awesome argument. He's like owning Kamala Harris in the marketplace of ideas with this one. He really did it. He really did the damn thing, dude. No laws that govern men? Excuse me. What about when a man has to get a driver's license to drive their car? Owned. That's amazing. True facts. You're right. You must also object the draft. No, yeah, I don't give a dude. Yeah, the draft. It's funny because I'm female to male and had to sign up for the draft. Yeah. Well, remember, in the minds of transphobes, many of them don't really realize that there are trans men out there. So if you were to describe to Jake Paul that trans men also exist, I think you would literally cause him to have an aneurysm. He would perish on the spot. Like, his brain is basically the size of a walnut due to CTE and steroid usage at this point, that it would explode. Our political commentators, voices for the people. Okay, the 2-button thing, put it down. You're milking this. How appropriate. What?
In fines. What about that law, Kamala? As a man, that should frustrate you that she's neglecting the truth about what.
What's the counter argument to the draft thing? It's utterly irrelevant. It's not like it's not a real thing in general. Okay. Last time it was a real thing was during the Vietnam War. The American military has a poverty draft. It is voluntary the way that it currently works. And also, I am not in favor of the draft anyway. The poverty draft is a myth. No, it's not. Stop. I hate that argument. I know what counter argument you're going to make. Okay. No. Upward social mobility is only afforded to people if they go through the military and get their college education and healthcare paid for. That is still the poverty draft. Okay. Just pointing to a bunch of military family kids being also a part of the military and a part of the officers program does not change that dynamic. Okay. I hate that. I know the arguments against it. I'm very familiar with it. It does not matter. It is not a myth. Did women force the draft up on men, or what am I missing? No, you don't understand. Jake Paul is woke. He wants women to also be drafted, or he wants to abolish the draft. It's got to be one or the other. Otherwise, why the f would he be pointing to this as an argument? You know? Like, what is the point of this? What is the point of being like this thing that is never really used and has existed long before? And the last time it was used was like during the Vietnam War, which ironically enough, Donald Trump, the person he's advocating for, skipped. One of the best things he did, dodge the draft, is something that Kamala Harris is like brought upon the American population. Or even then, it's like comparing the draft. If that is what you're going to, if your argument is like, oh, well, the draft exists, how dare you say that we don't control men's lives? That's kind of a stupid argument to make in terms of like how abortion is designed specifically to harm women's bodily autonomy. Like, you are denying someone a medical procedure that they can get. The poverty draft has never been a real phenomenon. In the last 15 years, basically non-existent.
What men do for this country, and women do so much for this country. But let's not make this a battle of sexes. Everyone is equally important in this discussion. And sorry, Thor. Yeah, I know. It's madness. It's a crazy world. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, that's Thor. He's voting for Donald Trump. I would also argue that Donald Trump is protecting women by not letting 15 million illegal immigrants through the borders. 662,560.
Dude, that's like, this is the type of shit that's like really insidious, I think. Like the way that the average like guy who believes Donald Trump is great just so quickly hits these unimaginably racist lines, unimaginably racist lies in general, is very, very frustrating. Okay? As of July 21st, 2024, there were 662,566 non-citizens with criminal histories on ICE's national docket, which includes those detained by ICE and on the agency's non-detained docket. Of those, 435,000 are convicted criminals and 226,000 have pending criminal charges.
66 have criminal histories, 13,000 convicted of homicide.
What is the counter to this? Yeah, it's across multiple decades, dude. What are you talking about? It's across 20 years. Some of those people legally came here and then did crimes. Some of those people legally came here. Their immigration status was either revoked or their visa expired and they overstayed and then did crimes. And the most consequential aspect of this is that you see big number, okay? You see big number and you go, oh, that's crazy, big number, that's wild. It is at a significantly lower rate than a significantly lower rate than natural-born U.S. citizens, okay?
Homicide and so on. Having those unidentified.
Like, do you understand?
The borders. 662,000.
Do you get it? Do you understand? Yeah, the homicide number has gone up to 29 as of fiscal year 2024. It comes to a close, by the way. I keep repeating this stat, but 29 homicides are manslaughter. 29. Donald Trump says 100,000 Americans are being killed by migrants every day. So it's not related to those 16 million because that's how he made it sound, I think. It's crazier that people believe this shit. Yeah, I mean, it's very nefarious the way that they... Yeah, by the way, it's homicide and manslaughter, as in it could literally be 1 murder and 28 fatal car accidents. Yes. What is the biggest number on that sheet? Circular reasoning much? 80% is immigration crimes. Oh, you're saying, yeah. In terms of like all of the processing and all of the arrests, the biggest crime is that they are just undocumented immigrants. Yes, that chatter is correct. That's why the number is so high. What is the citizen rate of murders? I don't know, but it's like, but I mean, how many murders happen every year? Like 10,000, I think. Like 10,000 or maybe more, especially if you add homicide. America's like homicide. Sorry, especially when you add manslaughter. I think homicide, manslaughter numbers across the board. Number of deaths: 24,849 deaths per 100,000. Not one per 100,000. You mean total number? Yeah. If homicide manslaughter totality is 24,000 every year, and that's really high, guys. That's crazy. Okay, you need to put the hat back on, bro. Okay, stop. It's incredibly high. Immigrants constitute a tiny margin of that. Okay, like a minuscule, statistically irrelevant number. If there are 24 to 29,000, if there are 24,000, let's say 29,000, it makes up 1/1,000th of the number of homicides and manslaughters in this country. It's just like, it's ridiculous.
1,566 have criminal histories, 13,000 convicted of homicide, and so on. Having those unidentified people roaming the streets, I believe, arguably, is a bigger potential threat to the women of America. Even the Border Patrol Council, the people who are in charge of the border, endorsed Donald Trump. Quote, "If we allow Border Czar Harris to win this election, this great country is going to hell."
The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into this country.
Yeah, Jake Paul is right. We should deport all threats to women, starting with Jake Paul and Elon Musk, as a matter of fact. Okay, now I'm in favor of 2 deportations. At first, I was in favor of Elon Musk being deported, but now I'm in favor of Jake Paul being deported as well. I've decided, dude, this number keeps going up, man. This is what happens when you let a little bit of that reactionary dog into your mind. When you let reactionary sentiment even a little bit, when you accept it even a little bit, all of a sudden, see, I doubled the number of people that I'm in favor of deporting. Double. You got Nick Twitch. Thank you for the 5. Get the subs. This caking me with some Twitch subs. What's happening? You're being radicalized to support deportation. It doubled overnight. I know. It's really up.
That are committing murders, robberies, burglaries, and every other crime.
I gotta pee.
Will continue to put our country in peril.
Take it from the people who are actually on site, actually managing the border, not from me. And throughout Donald Trump's campaign, the left, who owns 90% of the media, has convinced the world that Donald Trump doesn't like gay people. But when we pull up the footage of Donald Trump's past supporting gay people, people will want to ignore that clip.
I'm all for guys that like men, but it's just not my thing.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
And then we pull up Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden, who are all Democrats, being anti-gay and anti-gay marriage and campaigning it publicly. It's on camera. Roll the clip.
Do you support gay marriage?
No, Barack Obama nor I support redefining from a civil side what constitutes marriage.
I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman.
But somehow they convince people that no, Donald Trump's the bad guy. Meanwhile, he's hosting gay marriages in Mar-a-Lago. And as he should. We're all for people loving whoever they want to love. What we're not here for is adults campaigning in the streets to young children to have surgeries that will affect them for the rest of their lives when they don't know who they are, what they want to be, or what they want to turn into. And people should really understand the difference between those two ways of thinking. You have to be 18 to vote, 18 to smoke, but you can mutilate your body at 10 years old. It's not okay. Donald Trump's a felon, convicted of felonies. He's a bad person. We can't let a criminal into the government. Every member founding the U.S. Constitution and this great country that has grown from the U.S. Constitution was a convicted felon of Great Britain. The people rebelling against the system, wanting to create change, wanting to disrupt, and wanting to do right by the people that founded this country were all felons. Shouldn't it be obvious that the good person they don't want in office? Shouldn't it be obvious that the one they're trying to kill is the one we need? And shouldn't it be a sign that a member of the most famous Democratic family, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., switched this year from Democratic to Republican, stating so many things that the party has lost its way, he doesn't stand with what they represent anymore, and is joining Donald Trump in his cabinet to make America
I'm not rewinding
again, which I think as a young person is one of the biggest problems in America.
That's not
the
happening.
Unhealthy food, the vaccines that were forced upon us. This is a major problem that is killing so many people. Obesity. You look at other countries, they're not fat like Americans, and I believe RFK will actually make a difference in this. But on the Democratic side, there's no mission forward on this side. And one of RFK's biggest points is he believes that the left is a threat to democracy, to free speech, all of these things. And that's the very thing.
I know he said Obama hates gays, and he's right, okay? And he should be able to say it. What now, liberals? It's silly. It's worth rewinding. It never is worth rewinding. Shut the f*** up. It's Jake Paul. Please stop.
That the left campaigns to be holding tried and true. We're going to protect democracy, all while doing the least democratic thing possible, suppressing RFK, not providing him with Secret Service, not allowing him to be a part of debates. Isn't that a part of democracy? Again, I'll let you ponder on that one. And me personally, I don't really like politicians. It's, oh, look at me, I'm nice, I'm this, I'm perfect, this is what I'm gonna do. I like the fact that Donald Trump is a businessman who has billions of dollars and won't be influenced by some deal or some treaty that's gonna make himself personally rich, which we all know the dirty game of politics.
That's literally all he did, bro. The argument that Donald Trump is like a good businessman is so annoying. It just like pisses me off. It's the furthest from reality. Yeah. Also, yeah, rich people famously hate getting more rich. That's famously a thing that they hate doing. They're like, oh, please, no more money, please.
Politics. And the following statement is just my opinion and not necessarily hard facts, and it's alleged. But isn't it crazy that apparently Nancy Pelosi goes into office and then comes out $200-300 million richer from knowing what stocks to invest into because of the deals that she is making? No, we want a rich, wealthy president who won't be influenced by money and make the proper decisions for the country. Shouldn't this be obvious? Which leads me to the madness of this current presidential administration who is funding multiple wars, different sides of each war, funneling billions and billions and billions of dollars into Ukraine, where 1 million Russians and Ukrainians have died. 20 times worse than the Vietnam War. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are funding that. Funding Iran to give money to Hamas to fight Israel. Then funding Israel to fight back against the Hamas. Funding both sides of a war of terror where innocent people are dying. And then hurricanes hit the United States. Thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans who don't have supplies, who don't have basic needs met because, well, Kamala and Joe spent all of our money funding these wars overseas. But when the Americans...
I like that the true fact stated is a Donald Trump Jr. tweet. I loved it. I'm loving the amount of research that he has done. He's like, I did my own research for this. And by that, I mean, I looked at a Donald Trump Jr. tweet.
Need the money. No one's there to help.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750.
$750. LOL. I remind you, that is the current presidential administration where Trump had peace.
This is extra annoying for me because the $750 is just immediate. That's not all you get. And it was really frustrating that there was so much goddamn misinformation surrounding this shit, where they made it seem like, one, that a lot of the budget went to the immigrants or something, whereas Donald Trump had allocated actual disaster relief funds directly away from FEMA to set up migration camps, like immigrant camps, under his administration. And secondly, FEMA is consistently underfunded, should be funded more for sure, and was slated to run out of money. But the Biden administration did not actually reallocate any of the resources away from migrant facilities, or towards migrant facilities in the same way that Donald Trump did.
In the world. Why? Because people respect him. Imagine Vladimir Putin, one of the most powerful, hard men on the planet, in a meeting with Kamala Harris, talking about war. Yeah, right. People forget Trump went and shook hands, the first president ever to do it, to go to North Korea, make friends with Kim Jong-un, friends with Putin, because they respect him. And that is why the world was at peace. We are on the brink of World War III. It's happening in front of our eyes, and the effects that will have on you and your kids are unfathomable. And quite frankly, I hate all the circus, all the madness going on, bringing up celebrities to talk and trick you into voting for certain sides, which is why I wanted to make this video, because I haven't seen anyone just sit down and talk logically about what the is going on. Wake up. Stop being tricked into, oh, look at here, we have this person. Oh, look at this. Oh, vote for this person because this guy said so. No, just look at the facts. Think for yourself. Don't be a
I think he might be the dumbest person I've ever encountered. Like, he unironically makes Logan Paul look brilliant. Like, it's not even a joke. Logan Paul interviewed Donald Trump. And he is far, far more intelligent than this goon, and the way that he presents himself here. It's quite shocking. Like, it's quite shocking because, like, I mean, he's like, oh, that's why. He's like, don't be a sheep. Do your own research. Listen, like, vote for Donald Trump just like I am, a celebrity telling you to vote for Donald Trump, while also simultaneously telling you, don't listen to celebrities that tell you to vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, this is not going to have any impact whatsoever, and I think it's pretty funny that he just tried to do this shit, but...
sheep in this world full of sheep. And yeah, I see it already. Everyone attacking me, coming for me because of this video. I'm putting my business, my career on the line during my peak, going in to fight Mike Tyson on Netflix, sitting here telling you the truth because I don't give a what the consequences are. Come for me, attack me, make up shit with your liberal left media like you've always done about me in the first place. I'm not scared one bit because I am protected by God. God has sent me here to tell you this message and have pushed this in front of me and put this on my plate to do this. Do the right thing. Vote for...
Dude, why do they always do this? The right-wing grift orbit is so wild. Like, why do they always gotta hit that, like, God sent me on a mission shit? Like, dog, your fan base is like 12. Nobody gives a what are you talking about?
Donald Trump. Not because I said so, not because Beyonce said so, but because it's what's right. And I got news for you. Most of your favorite celebrities, athletes, and all of that are secretly conservative because the left has created a world where conservatives like me speaking out have major consequences. It's only okay for a celebrity to speak out and endorse the left. And that's only gonna get worse unless people like myself stand up and say, the system. And even if you hate me for making this video, my message to you is I love you, even if you are lost. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I have love for all of the people of America. And with all of this said, I have friends that are Democrats and Republicans, and we all go about our lives in one harmony. That is what I really wish and encourage for this world. Remember, it's the United States of America. And if you are a Democrat watching this, maybe there's something you can learn from this. Maybe there's something that I can learn from you. I don't know everything, but these are my opinions. And the way we move forward is by communicating and having a positive discourse versus attacking each other on X all the time. Please.
Dude, this was awesome. I did learn a new thing. I learned that Jake Paul is actually stupider than I previously thought he was. Yeah, calling Twitter X massive telltale sign of someone's level of mental wellness.
Go. For the love of God, go exercise your right to vote on my behalf and vote for Donald Trump in this election. America depends on it.